A McDonald's cheeseburger costs $1.50. A single bell pepper at the grocery store, $2. A family of 4 can eat dinner at Burger King for $20. But buying fresh vegetables, chicken, and rice for the same meal costs $35. How does this make any sense? Why is the unhealthy option always cheaper? The answer involves government money, corporate strategy, and a food system that's completely backwards. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why eating healthy in America costs more than eating junk. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden economics that make a bag of apples more expensive than a bag of burgers. Let's get into it. Let's start with some shocking numbers. According to the USDA, healthy foods cost about $1.50 per serving on average. Unhealthy processed foods, about 60 cents per serving, less than half the price. In 2024, a Harvard study calculated that eating a healthy diet costs approximately $550 more per year per person to an unhealthy diet. For a family of 4, that's an extra $2,200 annually just to eat right. But here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't always the case. In the 1930s and 40s, fresh food was actually cheaper than processed food. A home-cooked meal cost less than eating out. So what changed? Think about this. If an apple costs more than a candy bar, something is fundamentally broken. And that something is the way America subsidizes its food. Here's the biggest reason fast food is cheaper, and almost nobody talks about it: government subsidies. Every year, the US government spends about $38 billion subsidizing agriculture. Sounds good, right? The government helping farmers? But here's the catch. That money doesn't go equally to all foods. Corn and soybeans receive the most subsidies by far. Between 1995 and 2020, these two crops alone received over $116 billion in subsidies. Wheat, rice, and cotton get big chunks too. Now guess what doesn't get subsidized much? Fruits and vegetables. They receive less than 1% of agricultural subsidies. Let me break down why this matters. Corn isn't just corn on the cob. Subsidized corn becomes high fructose corn syrup, which sweetens your soda, candy, and processed foods. It becomes feed for cattle, making beef cheaper. Soybeans become soybean oil, found in almost every fried and packaged food. Because these ingredients are subsidized, they're artificially cheap. And because they're cheap, food companies use them in everything. That's why a box of sugary cereal costs $3, but a pound of strawberries costs $5. Meanwhile, the farmer growing organic tomatoes or fresh spinach gets almost no government help. They pay full price for seeds, water, labor, and land. Then they have to compete with subsidized processed foods. It's an unfair fight from the start. Now let's talk about how fast food companies exploit this system to keep prices impossibly low. McDonald's serves about 69 million customers daily worldwide. In America alone, they sell billions of burgers annually. How do they keep a burger at $1.50? It's 3 words: economies of scale. Fast food chains buy ingredients in massive quantities. They're purchasing millions of pounds of beef, potatoes, and buns. Because corn-fed beef is subsidized and cheap, and because potatoes and wheat also receive subsidies, their raw material costs are incredibly low. Then there's the efficiency factor. A McDonald's kitchen is designed like a factory assembly line. Everything is standardized, timed, and optimized. They can make 100 burgers in the time it takes you to cook 1 meal at home. This drives down labor costs per item. But here's something most people miss. Fast food isn't actually as cheap as it appears. A 2023 study found that fast food prices have increased by over 40% since 2014, but they still seem cheaper than healthy alternatives because those prices increased even more. Want to know why? Healthy food has higher production costs that can't be reduced as easily. Growing fresh produce is expensive and risky. Unlike corn that can be stored for months, lettuce lasts about a week. Strawberries, maybe 5 days. This means farmers face constant pressure and potential losses. Fresh produce requires more manual labor. You can't automate harvesting delicate tomatoes or leafy greens as easily as you can harvest acres of corn with giant machines. Labor costs money. Then there's transportation. Fresh vegetables need refrigerated trucks. They need to move quickly from farm to store before they spoil. All of this adds costs. A bag of potato chips can sit on a shelf for months. An apple needs to be sold within weeks. Here's another factor. Organic and sustainable farming methods cost more. No subsidized pesticides, no industrial scale shortcuts. Just time, care, and higher expenses that get passed to consumers. And supermarkets know this. They mark up fresh produce more because they know it might spoil. One study found that grocery stores lose about 10 to 15% of their fresh produce to spoilage. Those losses get built into the prices you pay. Let's talk about why processed foods have such an unfair advantage. When you buy fresh chicken breast, you're paying for pure chicken. But when you buy chicken nuggets, you're paying for chicken plus fillers, water, starch, oils, and preservatives. These fillers are made from cheap, subsidized ingredients, so the nuggets cost less per pound than actual chicken, even though you're getting less real meat. Same with drinks. Fresh orange juice requires actual oranges, but orange-flavored drinks, high fructose corn syrup, water, artificial flavoring, and coloring, all cheaper than real oranges. Food scientists have perfected the art of making cheap ingredients taste good. They add sugar, salt, and fat, the three things human brains are hardwired to crave. And because these additives are cheap, they can create addictive tasting food at low prices. There's even a term for this, the bliss point. Food companies engineer products to hit the exact combination of sugar, salt, and fat that makes you want more. And they can do this cheaply because of subsidies. Now here's where this gets really troubling. The price difference creates what experts call a nutrition gap based on income. In 2024, about 12% of American households faced food insecurity, meaning they couldn't afford enough food. When you're choosing between feeding your kids and paying rent, you're going to buy whatever fills stomachs cheapest. That's 5 burgers for $5. Not 5 apples for $7. Studies show that low-income neighborhoods often have fewer grocery stores with fresh produce. They're called food deserts. But these same neighborhoods are packed with fast food restaurants. In some areas, there are 3 fast food chains for every 1 grocery store. This creates a cycle. People eat cheap, processed food because it's affordable and available. This leads to higher rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Medical bills pile up, financial stress increases, and the cycle continues. About 42% of American adults are obese, and diet-related diseases cost the U.S. healthcare system over $260 billion annually. The cheap food is actually incredibly expensive in the long run. Here's what makes this even more frustrating. Other countries don't have this problem to the same degree. In Japan, fresh fish and vegetables are often cheaper than fast food. In Mediterranean countries like Greece and Italy, fresh produce is affordable and central to the diet. Even in parts of Europe, healthy eating doesn't cost significantly more than junk food. What's different? Their governments subsidize fruits and vegetables more. They have stronger regulations on processed foods. And they've built food systems that prioritize nutrition over pure industrial efficiency. The US could do this too, but it would require restructuring billions in subsidies and challenging powerful food industry lobbies. That's a tough political battle. So here's what we've learned. Fast food is cheaper because the government subsidizes its core ingredients. Food companies engineer cheap additives to taste addictive. Economies of scale drive down production costs. And the system is designed for shelf-stable processed foods, not fresh perishables. The real cost of cheap food isn't on the price tag. It's in doctors' offices, hospital bills, and shortened lifespans. Other countries prove it doesn't have to be this way. America has the resources to make healthy food affordable. The question isn't, can we fix this? It's, will we? Next time you're choosing between an apple and a candy bar, you'll know exactly why that candy bar costs less. And maybe that knowledge will change how you think about what we're really paying for. Thanks for watching. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more videos breaking down the systems that shape our daily lives.